This is Joe Pugh for the Boxing Voice, joined here at the Matchroom Gym for the Cordina Media Day workout with his trainer, Mr. Tony Sims. How are you, Tony?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Fantastic. Let's get to it. Massive fight for Joe. World title fight, IBF title against the Gower in Cardiff. Home fight. Massive occasion for British boxing next week. How's camp been, first of all?
Yeah, camp's been good. You know, we've had a lot of notice for this fight, so Joe's obviously lives down in Essex with me for the fight, so he's had a good 10 weeks of training for this fight, you know, and he's ready to go.
Fantastic. How do you see the fight playing out next Saturday?
It's going to be a difficult fight. Kenichi Ogwa is a very good champion. He's been in with top level opposition, and it's going to be an hard fight, you know. And but I said to Joe, you ain't got never get a better opportunity to fight in your hometown of Cardiff and challenge for a world title. So, you know, hopefully he comes out victorious, but we know it's going to be a difficult night.
How many world champions will that be that you've trained if Joe does get it, Tony? It must be reaching a higher number now.
I think Joe's probably be my fifth if he wins it, obviously. I've had a few world title challenges. I had Kevin Mitchell, Lee Purdy. So, you know, if he comes through, it'd be my fifth. But as I say, it's going to be a difficult fight and a hard night's work.
Definitely, and Kevin Mitchell, one of the best British fighters never to win a world title. Moving on then, in the gym, right now we've got Craig Richards. I know you're not his head trainer, but he trains here. What did you make of the fight against Joshua Buatsi? I know you was in the corner. Yeah,
great fight, you know, and I was talking to Craig earlier when he come in. It was a great fight. I felt like it was a bit frustrating because he give the early round, you know, he give Buatsi the early rounds, and I felt like Craig come on late. He come on strong later on, so it was a close fight. I said to him earlier, there's just a couple of little things that he needs to pick up on, but you learn these things in these top level fights. When you're fighting top level fighters, the little things sometimes what count, you know. And but I think it'll make a great rematch. Obviously Joshua Buatsi is probably going to look at a world title shot. If he gets the world title, he'll make a good rematch. If he loses for the world title, he'll make a great rematch. So, you know, local derbies, you know, are always great and what fans want to see. And it was an exciting fight.
Spoke to Felix Cash earlier. He's looking for the Zerameta fight. It looks like now really tough opponent. Obviously, we know from the Triple G fight. What do you make of that fight? Because it's a big step up for him.
Yeah, it's a big step up, you know, and obviously Zerameta's name's been mentioned. I don't know whether that fight's been made, but the name's been mentioned to me, and obviously Felix has got to step up now. He's, I think he's ranked in all the world governing bodies. He's ranked in the Ring magazine ratings as well, so, you know, he's on that level now where he needs to make a move. He's been mandatory for the European for ages. The champion, the Italian Cigani's got to do a voluntary in June, and so that fight might not happen till like later on in the winter. So Felix has got to move on and do what he's doing.
And Conor Benn, it was rumoured that it'd be out July 9th. I think now that's being pushed back to maybe September due to a lack of timing for opponents. But it's been spoken about kind of a leap in levels potentially because of September. You're looking at the likes of Keith Thurman, is that right?
Yeah, well, the WBC have announced today that Ortiz versus Avanesian is going to happen for final eliminator for the WBC title. Jaron Ennis just fought last week, final eliminator for the IBF title, so that leaves Conor Benn and Keith Thurman in the WBO rankings. So I think probably the WBO will call for that final eliminator, which is probably what's going to happen next.
So if they call for it, if a deal can't be made, it will probably go to purse bids. And Conor's been very vocal about his lack of wanting to fight on other cards. He's with yourself, he's with Eddie, and he's in that Matchroom stable. Do you think he would go over to a PBC fight night to fight Thurman?
Yeah, if PBC win the purse bids, you'd have to, because it's a final eliminator. But I would have every confidence in Eddie and Dazn winning that purse bid. and making the fight here, possibly at the O2. So, you know, you just got to believe in your promoter and, you know, what your fighter's worth. But I believe Dazn would bid big for that fight.
And John Ryder, obviously fantastic win last time out against Danny Jacobs in a really tight fight of two halves. Billy Joe's been thrown in there. If he comes back, it's a great fight. It's a rematch kind of, 7 years on from the original fight. Do you think that fight can be made? And if so, do you think Ryder can take the decision?
Billy Joe is, you know, he's rung up Eddie Hearn at Matchroom a couple of weeks ago and he's asked to fight John Ryder. So, you know, Eddie spoke to me about it and, you know, the fight obviously could be made. John will be up for the fight. All we've got to wait for is when Billy Joe wants to do the fight, really, and get himself in a bit of shape. So, as you say, it's a great return. And the first fight could have gone either way, but it was a long time ago. So, yeah, it'd be a great rematch. And, you know, Billy Joe's asking for the fight. We ain't asked for the fight, he's asked for it. So, you know, we've just said we'll accept that fight.
Billy Joe obviously hasn't fought since last May against Canelo. Ryder fought, I think it was February against Jacobs. He's been more active. Do you think Ryder goes in this the favourite?
Well, Billy Joe's only lost that one fight, so probably Billy Joe would be the favourite, and obviously he holds the win over John. But you know, it's just a fight where I think both their styles are gel again. You know, the first fight was a tremendous fight and went down to the wire. So, you know, I believe the second fight will be a great fight as well. And as we were saying earlier, you know, local derbies, you know, always a good thing for the fans to watch. And I'm sure that fight would sell out the O2.
I think the original fight was at 160, and obviously this one will be at 168. Do you think that could make a difference to the dynamic of the fight?
Maybe, you don't know, because John was always struggling down at 160, you know, and his best fights have all been up at 168. So, you know, maybe that'll be to John's advantage. But as I say, you know, they both know each other really well, John and Billy, and outside of boxing they're quite friends with each other. So, you know, it'll make for a great fight, and I was pleased that Billy Joe's, you know, made that call. And you know, he's got to come back to a credible fight. You can't fight Canelo and then just come back to fighting nobodies, you know. And as you say, John's had that great win over Danny Jacobs, so, you know, it's a great fight for him to come back into. And yeah, it's a fight that we've obviously said yes to.
Last topic, Anthony Joshua. He's announced that I don't think Rob McCracken's going to be working with him anymore. Angel Fernandes comes in as head trainer. We know he's been working with him, I think, since the second Ruiz fight in the lead up to that. What did you make of Angel Fernandes becoming head trainer?
Well, I think that Anthony will probably get in an experienced trainer as well. I don't see him just having him as his only trainer. You know, I believe that he should have stayed with Rob McCracken for this fight, because Rob knows him inside out. But, you know, sometimes the fighters, you know, they just want to change it up, and obviously that's what he's fought to do. But I don't believe Angel Fernandes is experienced enough to do this fight on his own, and I believe that he'll bring someone experienced to work alongside him.
Fantastic. And what did you make of the video floating about yesterday about Anthony Joshua kind of hitting back at trolls?
Yeah, I haven't seen the video, so I can't tell you.
Okay, no worries. Thank you very much for speaking to me today, Tony, and thanks for having us down your gym. Hopefully speak to you again soon, and best of luck next week in Cardiff.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Tony. Cheers, mate.